We've only had the one win against the Kiwi teams. I'm very nervous. How does that sound? And I'm a realist, and I've seen it before.
If the Reds win, are you going to say you're going to win the Bledisloe?
No, we've got to beat the Lions first. Okay. Imagine winning the Bledisloe and beating the Lions in 1 year. We don't even have a bloody coach. They're still putting up with the nonsense that we talk about, which is raw, real, and probably should be taken off the radio and will be at any stage soon. Yes.
DSPN, the Devlin Sports Podcast Network.
Every Thursday, he joins us, the former Wallaby fullback. He's a Triple M breakfast host. And we got to doff our hat if we had one on because they had their radio ratings last week. And you just pounded and pounded. Every radio station in the place laid to waste, apart from the one that beat you by 0.1.
Yeah.
Who does those? What miserable sods, mate.
The radio station. The Chicks radio station, because they fill the books out. Whereas we're the Blokes radio station. So they're still putting up with the nonsense that we talk about, which is raw, real, and probably should be taken off the radio and will be at any stage soon. Yes.
Do you still have lawn porn? They used to do lawn porn where men would ring up and talk about the way they mowed their lawns.
Yeah, but it's always an allegory for sex.
Yeah, of course
That's
it is,
all
mate.
it is.
I know.
And it's blokes anyway. No, because we had a lot of rain again this week, so we did talk about fertilisation techniques and then also, God, thinking about tending to your lawn and garden is just a way to get away from your kids because, Christ, how boring are kids? And they come at you while you're mowing, you just point the mower at them. Great.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Daylight saving.
Daylight saving who?
Why don't you morons get with this? Our clock, daylight saving ends this weekend, mate. And do you know what the best thing about it is? The best thing about it is, and I run this joke every year, that finally the clock on the friggin' microwave works again. You know?
That's good. Use that joke. It's still funny.
Yeah, mate. Well, why don't you do daylight saving? That's right, because it's going to dull the curtains or something, isn't it? That's why you don't do it?
It'll be a lot easier to say that, and the cows won't know what time to be milked and stuff. There's our jokes. But the reality is, if you wanted me to go through it, hold on, the way you're looking at it, the Queensland coastline heads across on such a wicked angle. And the people up in North Queensland, who I don't really care about, they would be, going to bed. The sun would be going down like at 11 o'clock at night. Something like that. Anyway, it'll be over soon, but that's bad for us because it'll mean what's now 7 o'clock at night football games are now 8 o'clock. So everything ends up later. And what a weekend of football it is.
Oh, mate, let's start with tomorrow night. Chiefs-Reds 1 versus 2. I keep saying Chiefs-Reds. Reds-Chiefs 1 versus 2. How about that?
It's been, when did I see? Was it 2011 or 12 since the Reds have been top of the table? We'll find out, mate. I'm not certain that we are. We've played a lot of Australian teams. Which is the watered-down variety of the competition. We've only had the one win against the Kiwi team, and we failed against Crusaders. I'm very nervous. How does that sound? And I'm a realist, and I've seen it before. And you've seen me go off a little bit too optimistic at times, so I am very cautious. I don't know how we'll go.
Okay, well, hang on. So the Chiefs are coming off a bye, so it's not like they're rested. They're also number 2, so it's not like they're angry. They're bringing back all their best players, so it's not like they're hungry.
Yeah, actually, no, I'm not even a little bit optimistic. I'm extremely pessimistic now you made all that up. But do you remember, was it 2 years ago, that win when they defeated them I reckon it was wet too. There was a couple of runaway tries. Anything's possible. I'm optimistic again. Also,
actually, to be fair to you, even the finals games a couple of years ago, you run them bloody close. Okay, your favourite other side is New South Wales, who got flogged by the...
Where did you hear that from? No, that's not true.
Flogged by the Hurricanes, and now go and play a Moana Pasifika side just brimming with confidence after just smashing, and they did physically smash the Crusaders. How good was that?
And Moana, it was magnificent. I love seeing that. And they're at home. The Waratahs could get beaten by 200 points.
Let's hope so, mate. Let's hope
300.
So. Yeah.
I hope so. I love Moana Pasifika. I think they're my second team. Drua used to be my second team, but they're too serious now. Moana Pasifika is bad enough, but good enough occasionally to be my second team.
I'm looking at the NRL points table in front of me. I see that your fabulous Broncos, the Warriors have got the same amount of points.
Yes, so early in the season, mate. Actually, the Warriors, what happened? The stories come out. What did the Warriors do in Las Vegas? Because whatever it wasn't good for them. Did any of them play up or something? What occurred?
No, the two Canberra guys were the guys that got caught doing it. Whatever it was, that smack has really worked. And you know that old thing about how the coach and the players always say, "Oh, we don't read the press, we don't look at that, we don't." Mate, every time we get a win, the coach is coming out saying, "You said we were crap. You said we were crap. You said we were crap."
That only lasts another couple of weeks, and then that newspaper clipping becomes old and yellow, and they think they're hot shit, and that's when they get beat. So you've seen it happen with footy too.
Yeah.
Can I mention one that maybe a game of footy that sums up Australia? Like, if you go, what's Australia like tonight in Melbourne? Okay, so you understand Australia and rugby and Australian Rugby League, but if you're trying to understand what's Australia in this AFL rubbish tonight. At the MCG at 6:30 our time, okay? So what's that, 8:30 your time? Well, no, 9:30 your time.
8:30,
Carlton, a suburb of Melbourne, plays Collingwood, the suburb next door to it. It's going to be 95,000 Thursday night at 6:30. Attend the MCG to watch a game of what we call aerial ping pong. That's Australia.
95,000. I'll tell you what Australia is. Let's finish with this. So I'm Australian. I get into a cab. I spew all over the cab. I abuse the cab driver. I kick the window of the cab out. I go to the police station. I racially abuse a cop, and then I bring out all kinds of race cards and said it's because of this and it's because of that. And at the end of it, I show no remorse at all, and I get handed the captaincy back of Australia as a result. Sam Kerr. Well,
that's Australia. That's Australia. And Australia's also, then a bloke gets on radio and says he'd rather put a nail through his old fella.
That's it. And watch that.
He gets sacked. He gets sacked.
He gets sacked. There you go. Welcome to the new world we live in.
Go Australia. Sorry about us.
Go the Chiefs.
Go the Reds. There's that little bit of hope.
And if the Reds win, are you going to say you're going to win the Bledisloe?
No, we got to beat the Lions first. Okay. Imagine winning the Bledisloe and beating the Lions in 1 year. We don't even have a bloody coach. But anyway, we'll get to that.
DSPN.